Hey folks, it's Cement once again, and welcome back to another review. Now, like I've said before, but if you haven't seen that review yet, of another Tony Scott film, Revenge, there's a lot of Tony Scott films that I enjoy. I'm still, I'm a big fan of the director. I know he's passed on, but to me, his movies are going to live on. And he made like 17 movies, and the majority of them I enjoy. I enjoy Top Gun. I enjoy Days of Thunder. I love The Last Boy Scout and Beverly Hills Cop 2. Those are two of my favorite Tony Scott films. I reviewed and liked True Romance. I really enjoy Enemy of the State. I can watch The Fan. I enjoy a lot of the stuff he did with Denzel. Man on Fire, wasn't a big fan of the ending, but overall I really did like the movie. I think Deja Vu is very underrated. I like Take Your Pelham 1, 2, 3 and Unstoppable. There's a lot of Tony Scott films I enjoy. I haven't seen Spy Game. I haven't seen his first two films. I know one of them is, I believe, The Hunger. And, of course, I was not a big fan of Revenge. And not a big fan of this movie, Domino, which I know got 2 thumbs up. Just was not a big fan of this film. I mean, I don't mind the cast. You had Keira Knightley, who plays Domino Harvey. It's based on a true story, sort of. I mean, even the film says sort of. Where it's about a woman who is a model, who is the daughter of a movie star from way back in the day, and she wants to become a bounty hunter. And she hooks up with these two bounty hunters played by Mickey Rourke and Edgar Ramirez. You also have Delroy Lindo, who's their boss. You have Mina Suvari. You have Lucy Liu as an sort of an FBI agent. You have Christopher Walken, who produces this little reality show that these guys are going to star in. You also have like Brian Austin, was it Brian Austin Green and Ian Ziering from Beverly Hills 90210. I know the screenplay is by Richard Kelly, who made Donnie Darko and Southland Tales. I'm just not a fan of this movie because I hate the schizophrenic direction. It's like the makers of the film was on cocaine, and even reading somewhere that was Tony Scott's. That's what he was going for. I guess he saw a lot of bounty hunters take cocaine or heroin or something to that effect. But there's other films that have done that kind of schizophrenic direction that I don't mind, but this, it just got annoying after a while. It got irritating to watch. And to be honest, yeah, I do find the idea interesting. A pretty girl who's a model who becomes a bounty hunter. I like Mickey Rourke and Edgar Ramirez. I kind of wanted to see a film where it's just these three going around on their job day to day, doing their day to day bounty hunting, sort of like an R-rated version of Dog the Bounty Hunter in a way, I guess if you want to call it. Just their day to day life, their day to day, you get to know each other, what they, why they're doing this for. I'm not saying a documentary, but probably more to what this Domino Harvey was really like, because I know the real Domino Harvey actually passed away before this film came out. Overdose on some type of painkiller, I believe. I just didn't care for the story being told because it was so. It's like a balloon or it's like a box, right? It's a box, and they're just putting all this shit in this box. And it's being so overstuffed, and it's so overstuffed, and it gets so overstuffed with this plot point, this plot point that the box starts breaking, and you see tears coming out of the box, and it just by the time it gets to the end, it just explodes, and I know a lot of people like the film, that's fine, but it's just there's so many other Tony Scott films I enjoy more, whether it be from Enemy of the State. Was actually there's a part at the end that reminds me exactly of Enemy of the State, and I thought it was done better than that. I mean, it's a part where all the people get together. You have the mob guys, and you have Dabney Coleman's in the film. You have his guys, and then you have the bounty hunters, and then the FBI's outside, and everyone's shooting everybody. I don't know. That just reminds me of Enemy of the State, where yeah, these guys, and Will Smith gets under, and to me, that's a much better movie, though. That's a movie that I prefer. It's just you have so much stuff with the plot where it almost seems like Mickey Rourke, Edgar Ramirez, like they're in it throughout the film, and I like those actors and I find them interesting, but they get pushed into the background because oh, here's Christopher Walken and he's a crazy producer and they want to do this reality show, and then here's now your co-host for it is these 90210 actors, and then oh yeah, here's this guy named what the hell was her name? Letitia. And she's on Jerry Springer, and she's talking about mixed race. And then, oh, but she's a grandmother, and her granddaughter has this rare blood disease, so they need this money. And then, oh shit, here's this group of people who dress like women from the First Ladies. So I'm like, great, it's a female Point Break. And, oh, but they're not really the First Ladies. It was really Letitia. The ones who are set up are actually mob kids, and then they're dead. Oh, no, actually, let's reverse that. They didn't actually die. They're still alive. And then Edgar Ramirez pulls a gun on Mickey Rourke in a hotel room, and Mickey Rourke is talking about how oh yeah, women drive you crazy. And then the only thing we get of that is when the vehicle flips over that they're in, and then Keira Knightley and Edgar Ramirez have sex, and then that was pretty much it after that. It just, like, so much shit they're trying to fit into this 2 hour and such running time that I'm like, calm down. I mean, it's okay to simplify this. Again, I just would have preferred a lot more of these three, just their day-to-day basis of going from bounty hunting job to bounty hunting job. Not this fucking plot with first ladies, and then they're not really the first ladies, and this fucking girl going on Jerry Springer, and then have the 90210 guys. I mean, it was like trying to be this cocaine-filled... There's no one really doing cocaine, but if you're doing cocaine, I'm sure this is how you look at the world. Of filling all this sort of shit in there. I mean, at the beginning you have Lucy Liu as an agent asking about this $10 million that's missing. Then it cuts to the three of these people at a trailer park. They throw an arm to show they mean business and get that money out. Then it's Keira Knightley talking about the people, how she met. Like this guy who they call Elf because they can't pronounce his name, and he ate a cat once, so they just call him the cat-eating alien Elf. Okay, reference to Elf. And I like Mickey Rourke. You know, I like some of his little bit of his dialogue. You got 7 minutes to open that freezer, or I'll flush that goddamn arm down the toilet. But there's a flashback to when she was a kid, and her father and Fish died at the same time, and she became a model, and she just hated everything, and her swinging nunchucks. And like, she has this nunchucks, but I don't ever remember her actually using the nunchucks, even though they put all this, like, she's training, and there are times where she's carrying the nunchucks, but I don't even remember ever using these fucking nunchucks. So I'm like, what was the point of showing so many goddamn scenes with her, these fucking nunchucks? It's not like they're telling a true story. I mean, the first thing is based on a true story, sort of. It's like, okay, we'll take Domino Harvey, we'll just make up a fucking story. And like, she's a model, then she gets in sorority. I don't mind the scene where girls fucked with her, and she goes, have you had a nose job? And she punches the girl like twice, and she gets kicked out. She's in that She sees an ad to be a bounty hunter, goes to the seminar, throws a knife at Mickey Ward's car, rides with the two bounty hunters. I like Mickey Ward. I just wish he was given more to do. I mean, I like the line where he's telling Edgar Ramirez, sometimes you got your own ton up your ass, you fucking pendeo. Pendeo. But then it's like, again, it's like he takes a back seat, and I just didn't like the way the story was told. Like, their first raid goes wrong, she offers this lap dance, and then quickly cuts to, oh, Delroy Lindo is their boss. She gets a bounty hunter of the year. I'm like, well, let's see her go on these raids and hang out more with these two guys and getting to know with them and back and forth. And you get like teeny bits of that. But it's like, oh yeah, here's Christopher Walken's this weird TV producer who wants them on TV. Here's Letitia and Jerry Springer having a chart about mixed races and how she's the youngest mixed race grandma. And oh, the co-hosts of the show are going to be these 90210 guys, which I don't give a fuck. I didn't like 90210, and I don't give a shit about the two actors. I don't give a shit about Brian Austin Green and Aaron Ziering. I don't give a shit about Christopher Walken's fucking TV show he's producing. This really doesn't end up to anything anyway. It's just, oh, the following with cameras like a tiny bit. Then when all this shit goes haywire, they're like, oh shit, let's get rid of the video. The elf guy blows up the vehicle, and then that's the last. You never see Christopher Walken again. You never see Mina Suvari again. It's just like, you could have taken that whole thing out and it would have been fucking fine. Could have taken the 90210 guys out, it would have been fucking fine. In fact, it would have helped the fucking pace of the movie. And just concentrate on these three people, because I don't mind the actors. I like Mickey Ward. But with this shit and the Letitia shit and her granddaughter shit, having a rare blood disease, and FBI, $10 million, you have Dabney Coleman in there. Delroy Lindo Collins says, hey, we can find it. Your stuff's been stolen. We'll find it for a finder's fee. Oh, but then Delroy, you find out that Dabney Coleman's money's actually with the mob. That's how they get involved. Again, the first ladies, these people dressed up. You think it's these four people who the bounty hunters grab and arrest. Then you find out later, no, it was actually these four people, including Letitia. It's like trying to be like a zany, dark humor, crazy type of flick, but I've seen that done much better in other movies. Hell, I'll go watch True Romance. I thought it was done better in a film like that. This, no, it just seemed like, okay, I guess we're just going to this tangent, to this tangent, to this tangent, and the directing, I just got annoyed. Push in, pull out. Oh, now it's piss yellow, and then piss yellow cinematography. Then let's cut to this. Then, oh shit, let's repeat, or let's go backwards, and let's. It got annoying after a while. It got irritating to fucking watch after a while. Especially when they get to the ending where you got this big needle type of building, like very thin, that the. And pretty much is, oh, there's Danny Coleman, and then there's the bounty hunters, and then there's the mob, and this is so horrendously directed. I had my jaw dropped, because I saw this film once a long time ago. I didn't remember it being that bad. Like, literally, the picture quality is this yellow. That piss yellow. And it's like, push in, push out, shaking the camera, push in, push out. This person I just got shot, push in, push out, shaking the camera, push in, and then push out, push out, push in. And then, oh, I guess Ricky Ward, Eddie Ramirez is shot. And then they go to an elevator, and then she gets up, shoots, ah, and then turns, ah, and then turns, ah. Then they go on an elevator, and then the elf guy blows it up. And then you find out later on that the money was sent to Afghanistan from Elf, and that some of the money was sent to save that granddaughter who I don't give a fuck about. Because I don't give a fuck about Letitia. I don't give a fuck about Delroy Lindo. I don't give a fuck about them. And these two died of their wounds, and I don't think they were really developed that well. And I would like to have seen more of these two people in the film. Like, more to them, more conversations. I mean, Keira Knightley, I don't think she's a bad actress, but I don't know if I could say I really cared for the character. Like, did I care if she lived or died? No. I mean, I was more interested in these two. I mean, if I'm really honest, did I really care about Keira Knightley's character? Not really. So, I mean, what else am I left? I mean, I don't agree with this review by Jeffrey Lyons. Daring, edgy, brilliantly directed. To be honest, I think this is one of Tony Scott's worst films. And again, I've said at the beginning of this video, I am a big fan of Tony Scott. I'm sorry that he's gone. May he rest in peace. Yeah, again, I enjoy Top Gun, Enemy of the State, Beverly Hills Cop 2, The Last Boy Scout. I like True Romance. I like Crimson Tide. That's what I didn't mention. I mean, there's a lot of Tony Scott films I enjoy. Unstoppable, Deja Vu, Take Your Pill 1, 2, 3. And when Tony Scott does that direction in other movies, I can deal with. But here, it just seemed way too much. Way too overboard. With a plot, a storyline that I didn't care about. That seemed like you just fit in so much shit, and it made me end up not giving a fuck. But hey, if you're interested in the Blu-ray, you get it. There's a commentary with director Tony Scott and writer Richard Kelly. They might have been in different rooms. An alternate audio track, which they have a script note and story development meeting. A little featurette about Domino Harvey's life. And Bounty Hunting on Acid, Tony Scott's visual style. Well, I mean, I could deal with it in Deja Vu. Maybe because I could deal with those films because I got more into the story, or got more into the characters, or got more into what was going on. I mean, people say, well, that's his normal Tony Scott direction, but I don't know, just those other films I could deal with. Again, maybe because I got more invested into what the fuck was going on. And here, because I didn't, I just noted clutter. Cluttered the movie. So yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of Tony Scott films I enjoy. This is not one of them, Domino. But that's just my opinion. I know a lot of people disagree, that's fine. But, again, I just would have preferred these three go on their day-to-day bounty hunting life. Not this really convoluted story. And almost at times like it's trying to be cool, but you just hit to be square. I don't know. But anyway, that's just my honest thoughts on it. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you on the next one.